I wanted to quickly mention what our plans are for longevity. We always talk about longevity, but what does that mean exactly? Longevity, guys, is pretty simple. It just means that we need to listen to BTS all year long, not just the first day, not just the first week, not just the first month, because we need strong numbers all throughout the year for BTS to receive nominations and awards for year-end award shows. And this is easier than 24-hour records, first week records, debut records, because you have more freedom. And this is something that we need to share with, I would say, mostly baby armies, because sometimes when you give them so many rules to stream, they get overwhelmed. And yes, it's true, we need rules, but those rules are mostly because we need the numbers now. We need the numbers during debut day. We need the numbers during debut week. But longevity is not like that. For longevity, you can stream whichever way you want. I mean, not whichever way. Not any way, Don't loop still, but the rules are way easier to follow. You can stream the album from top to bottom. You can stream one specific version of Swim on your study playlist. You can not just stream Arirang, you can mix it with all BTS songs. You can mix it with other songs by other artists that you like, depending on the mood, on the genre. Whatever it is, the point of longevity is to never stop listening BTS. Keep the momentum of Arirang going. Arirang's moment is not just the first day, the first week, the first month. Arirang's moment is the first entire year. It's the year of Arirang. That's the mentality of longevity. These are points made by Meg, so thank you so much, Meg, for this information. So what is longevity? Did a song or an album have an impact in global culture and conversation? These conversations last months. It's not just one moment, it's the entire year. Did people keep listening and talking about an album all year long? Think of the award shows that are going to be by the end of the year, or even the award shows that are going to happen next year. So think about the AMAs. BTS was eligible with just 1 week of Arirang. The numbers for Arirang are most likely going to be part of the AMAs for next year, and also the BBMAs, and also the Mamas and other award shows that are year-end award shows. For people to remember that, for people to really consider Arirang has to be a popular album for multiple months, all year long. Another question, did the music reach new listeners and convert the general public to ARMY? We can see that it is happening. I'm seeing so many new listeners reacting to BTS for the first time, and this is a great opportunity because I'm seeing a lot of new reaction channels reacting to BTS for the first time because they just came back from the military. Well, for them, right? For us, it's been a year almost, but for them, this is BTS's first moment since their military break. It's something new for them and for a lot of people from the general public. So let's continue sharing BTS music to new listeners. This album has a great variety of genres, so you can introduce your friends and family to BTS through these specific genres. Like I've mentioned, for the past 2 months, this is the best longevity BTS has ever had. Why is longevity important? Arirang is already the most successful album of 2026, both globally and in the US. More successful albums are going to come, yes, definitely. But the fact is that Arirang is a strong contender to be the top of the top. The problem is that humans suffer from recency bias. We want to keep BTS in the conversation all year long because by the end of the year, people are going to say, oh yes, I remember that Arirang was successful. It was more successful than this other album and then this other album by Harry Styles, Bruno Mars, Olivia Rodrigo. We will see. But if more artists release by the end of the year, because of recency bias, they're going to remember those albums. So we need to keep Arirang in everyone's minds all year long. We've been doing great for the past 2 months, and BTS is also doing great. They know what they're doing, guys. We get an AMA's attendance confirmations, and we also have the World Cup. We can take these opportunities as promotion opportunities. If you are not a poster, so if you don't post videos or if you don't do content, simple things are liking everything you see. So if you see any post related to BTS at the World Cup halftime show, like it, repost it, comment normal things. The great thing about longevity is that longevity support is extremely easy. These strategies support BTS for IFPI, Billboard year-end charts, BBMA awards, Mama awards, and Spotify Wrapped. They also generally support year-end charts and awards in all regions. So there are 3 ways that we can support longevity. Number 1 is streaming. Pretty easy. Keep streaming all ARIRANG tracks. Listen to the album. Add all tracks to playlists. Stream Swim and the remixes. Don't forget about the remixes, because the remixes are combined with the original Swim for most end of the year award shows. Streaming should be fun. Listen to other BTS albums whenever you want. Groove to mood playlists. Just keep ARIRANG and Swim in heavy rotation. Don't let it go. And once again, we don't want you or any new fans to get tired or bored or feel like this is repetitive. The good thing about longevity is that that's the entire point, to not make it feel repetitive. And for that to happen, we need to diversify. Don't just listen to one song in focus playlists. Listen to the full album, mix it with other things, with other artists, with other genres, with other moods. Listen to other BTS solo songs and mix it with the new songs. Just mix everything up, have fun, listen whenever you want. That's the point of longevity, to not get bored for a long time. When it comes to buying, add ARIRANG to your collection. Buy additional versions throughout the year as your budget allows. So we know there are multiple ARIRANG versions. If you think that one version is enough for you, just know that it doesn't have to be right this moment. Get the ARIRANG collection whenever you can, whenever your budget allows. It's really recommended because you're going to help BTS on these year-end award shows, and you complete your ARIRANG collection. Even if it's 2 months from now or every 2 months you buy one album, like that's fine. And remember that we also have Swim digital. You can buy those as well. Ask family or friends to buy all Swim versions on iTunes or Amazon if your budget allows. Multiple ways of support ARIRANG and Swim. And finally, it's not just about streaming and buying, it's also about encouraging. Share resources and keep it positive. Remember, the good thing about longevity is that the rules are more loose. We need to avoid burnout. So whichever way you feel like it's more comfortable for you to stream BTS, do it. And encourage other armies to do the same. Gently introduce new fans to BTS physical albums and how cool they are, because we know how cool the physical albums are, especially for these ARIRANG versions. Every version is so different to the other. Check out unboxings so you can see which ones you would like to get first, and also encourage your friends. There are people who collect vinyls even though they are not fans of the artist. The first time that I got to know about this was when BTS released their vinyl for Love Yourself tier. I got a random recommendation for a TikTok on my For You page from a TikToker who just focuses on vinyl. So he talks about vinyls and he does reviews of vinyls. He listened to Love Yourself tier just because he saw that, oh, there's a new popular vinyl, I'm going to buy it. Just because it's a popular vinyl. Can you believe that? It's kind of like how influencers who focus on Legos, they reviewed the BTS Lego set. They are introduced to BTS through all of these different things, right? Remember to share playlists, hype the BCD app to newer fans, because the BCD app is a great way of making all of this a fun game, collecting virtual photo cards and sharing all of these things. So the BCD app is great. When you are sharing playlists to new listeners, people who are still not really into BTS, don't share a super focused playlist on one song. Share playlists focused on vibes or in a specific genre that they may like. There are multiple ways of streaming BTS, specifically the songs from ARIRANG, which should be our focus right now because of all of these award shows. That's the point of this longevity goal. I think that is also the reason why ARIRANG is being so successful. It's because the best strategy, it's for real, listening to the album from top to bottom. So if you recommend the album to someone new to BTS, your recommendation is pretty obvious. Just listen to the album in order. Don't go first with the lead single. No, listen to the full album. Just listen to it from top to bottom and give me your opinion. That's the best way to recommend. So simple. Suggest they get a premium account if they can. Premium accounts are always more comfortable to stream music in general, so that's a good recommendation, so they can also stream BTS ARIRANG. IFPI is a chart just as important as the Billboard chart, but these are annual, so these are by year. We have 6 global charts. We have IFPI Global Top 10 Recording Artist, IFPI Global Top 10 Single Chart, IFPI Global Top 10 Album Chart, IFPI Global Top 10 Album Sales Chart, IFPI Global Top 10 Album Streaming Chart, and IFPI Global Top 10 Album Vinyl Chart. BTS has entered all of these charts except for album streaming chart and album vinyl chart. BTS was number 1 in 2020 and 2021 for recording artist. BTS was number 10 for singles charts with Dynamite back in 2020 and number 4 with Butter in 2021. For album charts, Map of a Soul 7 was number 1 in 2020 and B was number 4 also in 2020. For album sales charts, we have from 2020, Map of a Soul 7, B, and Map of a Soul 7, The Journey. Now, these other two, BTS has never entered these charts. Is it possible for ARIRANG to be part of these charts? According to some calculations, yes, BTS can enter all of these charts, but some may be easier than others. So, for example, when it comes to BTS and ARIRANG, it seems easier. BTS has strong numbers in general and for album because of ARIRANG. Now, the thing is with Swim, BTS is in competition for number 1, not just top 10, number 1 for all 6 IFPI charts. Guys, we need to make it. You know how historical it would be? Let's do our best. This would be the first time. Because think about these other years. BTS, yes, sometimes they get number 1. Sometimes they are part of the top 10. But can you imagine BTS being number 1 in all 6 charts? That would be historical. I would say let's do our best. If it was not an actual possibility, it is a real possibility. There are extreme high chances, but we need to keep the longevity. It's the only way. So far, we're doing great. We just need to maintain this momentum, keep it going for the rest of the year, the entire year. IFPI is not like Billboard. That means that YouTube views will help on this chart. So stream live performances on Bangtan TV. Do you know how BTS releases their live performances? Dance practices, performance videos, visualizers, all of that will help these charts. So just for reference, here are the 2025 winners in all of these charts when it comes to numbers. So for these charts, they don't publish numbers, they just rank order. We do not know about those, but this is what we should be going for. In 2025, the winner for Global Top 10 Single Chart had 2.06 billion global subscription streams equivalents. Global Top 10 Album Sales Charts, number 1 had 6 million sales globally, and number 2 had 3.49 million sales globally. We know that just in the US, ARIRANG sold 1 million. And that was just in 2 months. We still have the rest of the year. That is why I mentioned before that we don't all have the same budget. I cannot buy all of the ARIRANG collection right now, but I'm going to try with time, get one more copy. Remember to buy Swim. It's way cheaper, the digital versions. We also have CDs, we have tiny vinyls and all of those. Sales from all around the world help. IFPI Global Top 10 Album Vinyl Chart. This would be our first appearance on this chart because BTS didn't release vinyls only until solo era. Number 1, 2.3 million sales globally. That was last year. And number 2 had 500,000 sales. This is just by reference. These are the numbers from last year. So let's do our best to get around these numbers so BTS can be number 1. It would be iconic if BTS is number 1 in all of these charts. Definitely the most difficult one, it seems like it's the singles chart. So far this year, there are not big singles that are heavily pushed at the moment, but what if there are? To avoid that, we need to create a big gap. Do not drop Swim. Just because Swim is not number 1 multiple weeks in the Billboard charts, it doesn't matter. It's all about longevity. So if an artist releases a very popular song and pushes that song, maybe we can make it too late for them. So do not drop Swim. Stream all the remixes because they will add to the original Swim. Now let's talk about Billboard. So Billboard has these 7 different charts that are very important. Billboard Hot 100, BTS had a number 1. Billboard 200, that's for albums in the US. These 2 are for US. Then the combination of these 2 is Billboard Artist 100, Billboard Global 200, Swim at number 1 was at some point, Billboard Global 200 excluding the US. But we also have this other chart, Top Album Sales, ARIRANG was at number 1, Digital Song Sales, BTS was at number 1. Now, what can we do about longevity when it comes to this? This is the year-end charts. Billboard charts are on a weekly basis, but when it comes to IFPI, that is just end of the year. Billboard also has that version of charts. They combine the numbers of the weeks from this year and they have their year-end charts, just like IFPI. BTS has entered those charts. Dynamite at number 38 in 2020, Butter at 11 in 2021, and Dynamite actually was at number 41 in 2021, even though it was released in 2020. Billboard 200, Map of Soul 7 in 2020 was at number 20. Billboard Global 200, Dynamite was at 5. Butter was at number 13 in 2021. Billboard Global 200, excluding the US, Dynamite was at number 1. Butter was at number 5. Artist 100, BTS was one time at number 42 in 2020. And top album sales, Map of Soul 7 was at number 2. Digital song sales, number 1 Dynamite and number 1 Butter. So what can we expect for ARIRANG? Billboard is so different than it was back then. BTS rules with their sales. So BTS can actually get a number 1 at the top album sales. BTS can actually get a number 1 on the digital song sales. The rest is about how well we can do in terms of longevity so they can be on the top of the chart. So maybe a top 10 on Billboard 200, Billboard Global 200, Billboard Global 200, excluding the US, Billboard Artist 100, before they have like number 42, a number 13, a number 20. Let's do our best so they can top these charts. I hope for a top 10, but let's do our best. The one that is extremely difficult is the Billboard Hot 100 because radio. So US armies, do your best for Swim specifically because Swim is the one that is being promoted for the Billboard Hot 100. Let's aim for these placements on all of these. Longevity helps with this. I do want to point out that now it's kind of early to know the competition for year-end charts, but the good thing is that we still have some advantage because BTS released their album in March and they are the most stable artists right now. So far they are ahead of the competition, but we really need to maintain it. So the Billboard charts have the BBMAs or the Billboard Music Awards. BTS has attended these award shows before. BTS should be nominated for all of these awards in 2026. So they should be in contention for top artist, top duo group, top Billboard 200 artist, top Billboard 200 album, top Global 200 artist, top Global 200 song, top Global 200 excluding the US artist, top Global K-pop artist, top Global K-pop touring artist, top Global K-pop album, top Global K-pop song, top song sales artist, and top selling song. The K-pop categories are pretty obvious. There's no competition in the K-pop section. If we continue with longevity, BTS should be nominated for all of these. Technically, because ARIRANG is an album heavy with like rap genres, hip-hop genres, ARIRANG specifically should be nominated for rap categories, R&B. But do we really count on that? I personally don't. But anyways, let's continue doing great with longevity so BTS is nominated and wins absolutely everything. When we talk about Spotify numbers, we talk about Spotify Wrapped. When we talked about IFPI and when we talked about Billboard, we are actually talking about real goals of ours. But when it comes to Spotify Wrapped is not one of our goals. Spotify Wrapped is just something that BTS will get inevitably if we hit our goals for IFPI and Billboard. BTS doesn't get any kind of real recognition certification from it. It's a pop culture moment, at least for a few weeks. So BTS can be part of those pop culture conversations, at least during that 1 week when everyone is super focused on Spotify Wrapped. So it is an extra thing that BTS can get. So how are we doing so far? Most streamed album, ARIRANG, is currently at number 2. If we continue doing great with our longevity as we're doing right now, the projection is that ARIRANG will surpass DTMF by Bad Bunny. This is the most streamed album of 2026. For now, in 2.5 months, ARIRANG may surpass this other album. But for ARIRANG to surpass this other album and be the most streamed album of 2026, we need to continue doing well with longevity. And by the way, this is in general. Forget about K-pop. We're talking about the overall list. Now, most streamed song, guys, this is so difficult because Swim is not like a heavily pushed song with playlisting. There are multiple different marketing tools to boost streams. BTS doesn't have heavy playlisting or autoplay, so it is very difficult. Our main goal is to stream correctly. No looping, no stacking, and use filters correctly. So our goals will depend because once again, Swim doesn't have the tools that other artists take. Our goal can be top 15, top 10, maybe top 5. And do not be afraid of streaming the remixes. Please stream them all. At some point, the remix album was at number 7 on the most streamed albums. So let's do our best. Now, most streamed K-pop song, Swim should win. Next, we're talking about the big lists here. Most streamed group, the projection is BTS. So our goal is to surpass BTS's record of 2021 for BTS to surpass themselves from the past. We've been seeing flopping as the weeks go by because Arirang is just taking every single 2020 and 2021 BTS record. The projection is that BTS will get the most streamed group, but remember that number 2 is not a weak artist. They were the most streamed group of 2025 and they were on the top 10 artists globally. Just continue streaming BTS, so their position is secure at number 1. Then we have the most streamed artists. These are the overall lists. Currently, BTS is at number 7. I know, poetic. They are currently number 7 with 4.3 billion streams. Our goal is to surpass BTS's record, 8.6 billion streams in 2021. We can push to number 5 if we continue like this. BTS has good longevity compared to other big artists this year. Let's just continue with the longevity so BTS can rise to the top 5 and who knows how high they can go. For this list, it's not just about streaming Arirang or Swim. This is about streaming all of BTS. So stream other songs by BTS as well. That would all help for most streamed artist list. If we really maintain these numbers all year long and big artists keep flopping, that is just the truth. That has been happening. So if we continue like this, BTS may even be top 3. So let's do our best. And once again, Spotify Wrapped is not our goal. It's just something that will happen if we continue streaming like this for our real goals, Billboard charts, and IFPI. We need to prepare for the Mama Awards. It's going to be by the end of the year. And Arirang is in the period of eligibility. You need to know that for the Mama Awards, they combine Circle Chart Korean sales, Circle Chart Korean streams, judges' scores, and global numbers. Circle Chart is their charts in South Korea. It's one of the platforms that they have to calculate sales and streams. And that is the majority of the points for the Mama Awards. But they also have judges' scores and they also have global numbers, and we can help with global numbers. The way we can help is by streaming Arirang, streaming Swim. This is extremely important and I will show you why in a little bit. The category for Song of the Year this time is very, very hard. And remember that for the Mama Awards, it really helps that we all watch the music videos. Watch the Swim music video, the 2.0 music video, and the Hooligan music video. If your region does not have a local album retailer that is an official one, so for example, we have this BTS official store and you can select your country's flag to be redirected to an official website where you can buy the album. If your country is not here, then that means that you can help with the Mama Awards. Because if you buy from the Weaver's Global Shop, you will be helping Korean charts and that means helping the Mama Awards. So that would help with Korean sales. Do we vote? Yes. Mama Fan Voted Award. This is the app that you need to download, Mnet Plus. It would be around October. Of course, it's too early to tell the exact date, but it's around this time. All of these predictions are very early predictions, but these are from Co-Watermelon on Twitter. First is Song of the Year. So this is what I was mentioning. BTS Swim is at number 5. This category is extremely hard. This is new information for me, okay? Apparently in South Korea, newer groups like 4th generation and 5th generation groups allegedly are having like similar type of deals that Spotify has with American artists. So they push these new generation groups a lot on their streaming platforms because in South Korea, they don't only use Spotify. Actually, Spotify is not the main platform. So they do all of these deals so they can have a lot of unique listeners from the general public. They value those streams more than fandom streams. It's really hard for Korean armies to compete with that. So the question also is BTS trying to do anything to compete on these charts? And the truth is that absolutely not. BTS is not doing any kind of deals. And not just BTS, but other older artists, they are not getting these deals. What we can do, basically nothing. I don't think there's much we can do here, and there's not much Korean armies can do here. Even BTS does not care anymore about these charts. K-charts prioritize K-streaming platforms, Melon, Bugs, and Genie. So that is our prediction for Song of the Year. However, when it comes to Artist of the Year, the early predictions say that BTS is going to win. So the way we can help with this is still streaming the full album and Swim specifically, and the music videos, all 3 music videos. Then Album of the Year prediction, Arirang is also at number 1, is predicted to win. For that, of course, we need to continue buying and streaming Arirang. These are Daesangs. Song of the Year is a Daesang, Artist of the Year is a Daesang, Album of the Year is a Daesang. Then the other categories that are not Daesangs but that BTS can also win are the Best Dance Performance Male Group. BTS are predicted to win there. They are number 1 with Swim. And then Best Male Group prediction, BTS are also predicted to win there. So once again, the way we help with these Mama Awards is right now streaming the album and Swim specifically, and watching the music videos on YouTube. YouTube does count for the Mama Awards. And also buying the album from the Weavers Global Shop.